What does the panel think of Trump pulling $400 million in federal funding from Columbia University for failing to protect Jewish students from harassment? Well, two people love it.
I'm for it. Listen, the devil be in the details. Because, listen, free speech, fine. If you want to be a queer for Palestine, it's an idiotic philosophy, but you have a right to be that.
Right.
You do not have a right to harass, intimidate Jewish students on campus, to keep them from going to their classes that they pay for, to keep them from going to the dining hall. It is ridiculous, and I will tell you, those campus protests, those got Trump a lot of votes. That was one of the times that I was like, I hate this man, but this is insane that it's happening, and we need a change in leadership.
Child, let's talk about delusion. This man really thinks that he's going to give the American people, and some people believe this lie, that he's going to give us a $2,000 check. The math ain't mathing.
2,000? I thought it was 5.
Maybe it's 5,000. You know, they can't get their numbers right.
Let me help you. It's 0. How about that? It's 0. And I know people going to feel away. Listen, all I do is give y'all facts. So you come back to me when you don't get that check and say, Jasmine, you were right. Just like y'all want to get out there and say all kinds of, other stuff.
He's hearing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't going to sit for that shit. We wouldn't. We showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do, for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up, because I'm ready to get on.
Comedian and political analyst Bill Maher attacked Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in a scathing indictment of contemporary political discourse, pointing out what he perceives to be her theatrical and unprofessional actions. Speaking about Trump's recent speech to Congress, Maher emphasized how certain Democrats, especially Crockett, have adopted a hyperbolic social media-driven image that puts viral moments above of meaningful governing. This dispute highlights a broader discussion within the Democratic Party. Is interacting with online culture a good way for politicians to engage younger people, or should they concentrate on crafting serious policy? Supporters view Crockett as an unabashed modern voice in Congress, while critics contend that her strategy feeds into harmful stereotypes and diverts attention from important political action. The debate about the Democratic Party's course and its strategy for political communication is getting more heated as Maher and other analysts offer their opinions. By putting viral moments ahead of real leadership, is the Democratic Party losing its credibility? Let us anticipate it.
Thank you for making the back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel, if you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
Was apropos of what's going on the left. And by the way, if you watch the speech, I saw mostly the clips of it, and mostly it was people in the audience, the guy with the cane, people with, like, paddles. Oh, there's the cane dude. And then there's, okay, here's our pussy hat uniform. And these, looks like you're at a auction signs. I mean, it was, John Fetterman called it a sad cavalcade of self-owns and unhinged petulance. I love him. I said he should have won last week. The Democrats seem so lost. And here's Jasmine Crockett, who is, I thought, a big leader in the Democratic Party. Her quote is, "This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it." On with what would be my first question. And also, this is the way this is like how a podcaster talks or some shit. Fuck it, man. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying?
Let's be honest. It's about time someone called out the clown act that is Jasmine Crockett's political persona, and Bill Maher is expressing what many people are thinking but are too scared to say aloud. Even though Maher isn't a conservative, he recognizes the signs. The Democratic Party has eschewed substance and professionalism in lieu of embarrassing theatrical stunts. Crockett, too? She is Exhibit A. She is acting like a social media influencer attempting to get popularity, rather than exhibiting the poise and decency that a sitting congresswoman should possess. Unfiltered, boisterous, and bold. For YouTube drama channels, that might work, but for someone who should be taken seriously in Congress, it's a bad impression. As Maher correctly notes, this isn't how true leaders act. Is it possible that Obama or any other well-known political person would say something like this? Not at all. Here's the main problem, though. Not only is Crockett embarrassed by this kind of behavior, but the Democratic Party as a whole is as well. Meager observes the situation, and one of the Capitol's millionaires. He is aware that Democrats like Crockett are relying on performative anger in the hopes of gaining public support, rather than developing substantive policy or putting up a strong united front. Breaking news. It won't. If anything, it gives the impression that they are dangerous and unfit to lead. Maher's criticism extends beyond Crockett's word choice. It has to do with the larger issue facing the left today. They are no longer focused. They were the party of ideas once. They are now the party of viral soundbites and TikTok tricks. They're going to get a harsh awakening if they believe that this is the best method to win elections.
See you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need. Listen, he up there, he's spewing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know. We showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense, so please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do, for sure. We got some cool shirts. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she's holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send.
I don't know what white privilege looks like, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of something.
It's a huge responsibility. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down, calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do.
And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services.
They send them to Texas, they send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
There was someone that talked to me and said, in fact, a former ambassador in the Clinton administration.
Please calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down, because y'all talk noise and then
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
He said, Jasmine, what you have to realize is that if you are really going to make change, it's not going to be in the Texas House. He said, you did a great job playing defense, but you have a chance to play offense.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
I should just strike those
idea
words.
what you just said.
The management, so to speak, changes. It's not just always one party that has everything.
I did it first.
Voted to do
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
And he said, if you really want to make real change, you really need to consider.
Let's just call it that. The leader isn't Jasmine Crockett. She's on stage. Not just any performance either. This is the hyperbolic, attention-seeking, social media-driven, and wholly unfounded type of politics. She isn't out here implementing actual policy changes. She's out here portraying a character, appealing to a particular demographic using slang, hyperbolic language, and an online identity. It's brutally clear that it's all an act. The issue? Oh yes, there is no benefit to this kind of approach. The Democratic Party is already coming across as even less serious, if anything. Democrats have leaders like Obama in the past who handled themselves with knowledge and dignity, regardless of your opinion of his ideas. He didn't have to be an influencer on Twitter to gain attention, but now Crockett is out there talking. as if she were presenting a live broadcast instead of speaking to the country. Today's Democratic politics are more about getting viral than they are about governing. Even Democratic Party members recognize the issue. The disconnection between leadership and reality is becoming increasingly frustrating. They are focusing more on identity politics, meaningless rhetoric, and media tricks than they are on developing a cohesive policy agenda. Ordinary voters are seeing through the bullshit, particularly Black voters. A loud, sassy congresswoman. Putting on a show is not what they need. They require genuine leadership, genuine answers, and genuine advancement. Ultimately, this is about more than simply Crockett. She is merely a sign of a far more serious problem. Instead of reforming its policies or reestablishing ties with working-class Americans, the Democratic Party is in disarray and is relying on a few viral videos to keep people in the dark. Warning, spoilers, it won't. And 2025 will be a harsh wake-up call for them if they continue to prioritize political spectacle over true leadership. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Do you think that rather than emphasizing true leadership, lawmakers like Jasmine Crockett are making Congress into a reality show? Or is social media-style politics the way of the future, in your opinion? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more real talk on politics, culture, and the issues that actually matter. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.